All right, what is up, everybody, and welcome into this week's edition of the South Florida Comedy Calendar, guys. I am your host, Sebastian Alvarez. Not only am I a local comedian, but I'm also your host every single week right here on the Community Newspaper Show. I am joined by my co-host, Art Roach. How you doing today, Art?
I'm not doing really well, Sebastian. I want to state right now for everyone at home, the Comedy Calendar has never been and will never be going to Epstein Island, okay? Art Roach, in his personal capacity, maybe has been there once or twice, but the Comedy Calendar itself will never be on Epstein Island. You're not going to find Comedy Calendar on any Epstein lists. And that poem that I wrote Epstein for his 50th birthday, that's just personal. That's a me thing. So I'm going to get that out there right now.
Thank you, Art. I think everybody has been waiting on the announcement of your appearance on the list, but, you know, I think you've laid it out very calmly and collectively, and I think there shouldn't be any questions left up for interpretation.
I just don't want any of you guys here in the room to get caught up in the dragnet. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt, but... You know.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we should be way more focused on Obama's involvement in the Epstein list more than anything else, and his fabrication of it. You know what I mean?
And if you're keeping up with the news, all I'll say is I've had the privilege.
You've had the privilege? Wow. Were you in West Palm at that time? Interesting, because apparently, according to the president, a lot of people in West Palm were offered and went, but he just never.
Some people put the work in, to receive the privilege.
Bill Clinton went 28 times.
Yeah,
28 times.
Yeah. Oh, Bill? Yeah.
Probably for the snorkeling, right?
A lot of
beautiful reefs off the
there's a lot of young fish.
Young fish.
Yeah, very young.
That's
fish.
where they're bred at the reefs there.
He snorkels for a very young fish. He's attracted to young fish.
Interesting. I like that. Well, our guest this week has also been implicated in possible incrimination in the Epstein files. I want everybody here at the Community Newspaper to put your hands together for the very funny Ashvin Singhal.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Art, for coming out and, you know, kind of clearing the air and saying that Comedy Calendar is not affiliated with Epstein list. You know, that was one of my main requirements of coming on this podcast. Like, you know, the podcast has got to be clean. You know, it's got to be not on the Epstein list. I know that's a lot to ask in this Hollywood, you know, everything going on now. But thank you guys for remaining authentic, and thank you guys for meeting my requirement.
Absolutely.
So it's great to be here.
Yo, so also, question, were you ever at a Diddy party?
No, I don't think Diddy is fond of Indian people. So, yeah, I don't think I was invited, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Not his flavor, per se.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he's fond of the curry. You know what I'm saying? You know?
You.
Oh,
Which everyone has their preference. That's, you know,
It's perfectly fine.
You know.
Maybe he's more of a tiki masala kind of guy.
Well, breaking news: Diddy can't handle the spice.
Damn.
You know, and if you can't handle the spice, you should get out of the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You
Or
know,
at least not eat Indian food. I think.
Right.
I think probably Indian food is not good. If you can't do spicy food, then Indian food might be the problem.
and honestly, if there's going to be no Indian food at these Diddy parties, you know, then I'm out. You know?
Heard that. Last in line at the buffet, Ashvin Singhal at the Diddy party. But I will say this, guys, this week in South Florida comedy is jam-packed with a bunch of amazing stuff, a bunch of stuff that we're not even going to be able to get to on this week's show. But starting off with a recap of last week, guys, I am so happy to announce that we had our matinee Dunces and Dragons inaugural show at the Miami Improv, and it went completely gangbusters, guys. Everybody who came out knows just how special of a show it was. If you were there for the first one, you were a lucky person, because not only was the game being played on stage, not only was it amazing and it went super well, but everybody around the actual show, the vendors and the fans who came out were amazing energy. The people who came out in costume, they were involved in the show. I mean, it was awesome.
And then shout out Tom Chamberlain and DJ who they did all the promotion. From what I understand, they've been pushing this show. We got to interview them a little bit last week. I did on Zoom, and they pushed, man, and they did a really, really good job. Ton of people turning out for the first time to the Miami Improv. Like you said, it was a matinee show, middle of a Saturday. They came out, they had a blast. I was dressed as Mario the Baker. Please, Nintendo, I want no beef. He's a baker, not a plumber. But just got to meet everybody out front and got to sit them. And I was working in the front. I didn't get to watch the actual show for a long time, but I could hear the room erupt with laughter and engagement the whole time. So big shout out. I mean, to their first at bat, to swing that hard and get that many people to show up, I was very impressed.
Heck yeah. And I believe we had Dart Vision out there also capturing some footage. So we have a video. If you did miss it, you can kind of get an idea of what the show was like right here.
That nobody cares about it.
Fuck you, Sebastian. I'm Thomas LaMountain.
Screw you, Art. I'm Connie Fernandez.
She couldn't find any cheese.
I actually did find some.
She found the cheese. She found the cheese.
Oh, mozzarella in the bag. The best kind to eat after 2 a.m.
Who the fuck is Sebastian? I'm DJ Magazoo.
I'm Thomas Chamberlain. Thank you so much, Comedy Calendar. Thank you, Art. Thank you, Sebi. I love you so much. I mean it. Kisses.
There you go. And if you did miss it, don't worry. There will be another Dungeons and Dragons show coming to you soon. Once we do have the dates for that, we will let you know right here on Comedy Calendar so you guys can stay up to date and get your tickets for it because, again, you missed a good one if you weren't out there on Saturday. Another recap from last week is we had SuperCon where a bunch of our friends were able to go out and perform and do, I think they did 3 shows DCC organized, possibly more over the entire weekend of SuperCon. And our guest here, Ashvin Singhal, you were able to perform on that Saturday show at SuperCon, correct?
Yes, I was there at the Saturday show. It was a 10 o'clock show. It was awesome. This was my first time at SuperCon. Really, at any con, I'd always wanted to go before, never got around to doing it. So to be there for my first time as an act, as a comedian, it was a dream come true. I never in a million years thought that I would be doing stand-up on SuperCon, you know, going there, just getting to hang out with everybody. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was so much fun, so much talent. There's so many shows that are going on, and it's just a great time. You really, if you love comic books, if you love just movies, if you love video games, there are people even there that they're not even into that. They're like, I'm trying to get into like comic books, movies, video games and stuff. And it's just such an awesome community. And they love to laugh. The shows were awesome. The comics did great. You know, we had Kevin Reyes on one of the shows. We had Lita Faye on another one of the shows. Just everybody did so well. The crowd was awesome. The room was great. I can't say anything better about SuperCon. I had a fantastic time.
So you said it was your first con, but you're just talking about like a convention, right? You've conned people before as an Indian.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, yeah. Cons, like, you know, doing that stuff. Of course. Thank you for clearing that up.
Well, I can also imagine how you're talking about how kind of emotional you got just to be standing there in front of all your fellow nerds. You know what I mean? I can imagine it was very emotional.
Absolutely.
Were you wearing a costume? Were you?
No, I wasn't wearing a costume. I didn't really know how to play it for the first time. Like, do I go like professional comedian and like play this nice? Or like, do I fully show up in like a Care Bear outfit? Like that really was, these were the battles that were going on.
If you would have called me beforehand, I would have voted for the Care Bear outfit.
Yeah,
I didn't know you
100%.
had one, but next time you're on
100%.
our
Yeah,
podcast,
you know.
if you don't mind.
I have one in my closet, so but I'm always looking for a reason to wear it, and I feel like, you know, this is a missed opportunity. But next year, hopefully.
What's
next
the image
year.
on your belly? A big bowl of curry is like.
Yeah, or a rainbow. Those two.
The classic. Nice. Well, moving on, though, from a recap of last week, guys, we get into this week. And Art, you have an announcement of a new show that you're going to be running out on Wednesdays?
Yeah, dude. So for a couple of weeks, I've been kind of hinting, putting some stuff out there for BT South Miami. And some people messaged me. They kind of got the hints. Yes, BT South Miami, they want to bring comedy to their venue. We're going to be starting a comedy competition every Wednesday starting August 6th. So it's going to be 5 weeks of comedy competitions, 12 comedians. They come out, they do 5 minutes each. And at the end of the night, we pick a winner for that week. Those 5 winners from the first 5 weeks all get together and do 10 to 15 minute sets on the 6th week for the grand prize of $500. So we'll have $100 prizes for each of the weeks, including some extra, drinks and some other things we're going to be throwing in there. And then the big grand prize on the 6th week will be $500. So I'm encouraging all comedians out there, hit me up. I already have, I think, 5 comedians signed up for the first week already. But the announcement's out now. It's official. Hit me up. Let me know which week works for you. And this is a no holds barred, not safe for work. The venue has given me permission and gives us all as comedians permissions to say whatever you want. I mean, obviously there's still consequences in the real world, but we're going to be having Dark Vision there capturing it. And then the goal is not only to have the competition, but also to get some really good footage and content for everybody that performs and participates. So it's going to be a good time. And big shout out my boy Hugo Torres, who works there at BT's with me, and he's helping me put this whole thing together. And he's going to be the kind of our consigliere as we approach this. So it's going to be a good time.
I love it. Love to hear that. Moving on, though, to another show that we got going on Wednesday as well this week, which is the Vape Queen show, guys. Happening over a little bit north. That is ran by our great friend and I think curator of the show to an extent, Ellie Rodriguez, as we've humbly referred to our show as the Ellie Rodriguez Comedy Calendar before.
Should we clap every time we say Ellie Rodriguez?
Ellie Rodriguez. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Ellie.
Why not? But no, this show this week is actually going to be awesome. The Puff Puff Fast Mic, if you haven't been out there, is a dope show. I'm going to have myself on that show. We have Grace Kelly performing on that show as well. She is super funny. Definitely want to go out there. Kev Espinosa, who's been killing it at the New Faces recently, absolutely doing a great job. And Jared Stein. It is going to be a fun lineup, guys. There's also, Ellie has told me, some guest spots that are going to be dropping in there too. So you don't know who is going to be coming in, but it's always top tier talent, because I know Ellie always runs that show on a super tight ship. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You definitely want to get out there. But Ashvin, you've actually done the show before, correct?
I have. I've done Vape Queen before. I love it. I think it's a great space. I love smoke shops, like, for comedy. I just think it provides such a unique experience. But it's intimate enough that you could get a full crowd of people in there. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone's paying attention on the show. And I just think that's one thing Ellie Rodriguez does really well. You guys were saying that she curates the show. She really brings everyone together. She makes it really good, and she gives the comedians the right platform to showcase their jokes.
And I love that venue because it's a place that, they have the size. It's a big room, and they're really investing into comedy. So they're getting, they're trying to turn it really into a miniature comedy club. So it's, big shout out Vape Queen, the Vape Queen Empress, Ellie Rodriguez, for putting the show on. And it's going to be really dope. Ahora vamos a cambiar las cosas un poco. El jueves, día 31 de julio, tenemos un show en español en el Miami Improv a las 8 p.m. y es una comediante que hemos hablado de ella antes en el show. Creo que es de Venezuela ella, ¿no?
Sí, Poli es una comediante venezolana que vive en México. Habla mucho de como ser exótica en México. Hace muy bien los acentos mexicanos, colombianos y también yo la vi presentar en el Festival Miami es un chiste, que tú también la viste, Arturo. Y me encanta su estilo de humor. Habla mucho de ser comediante y hacer chistes sucios delante de su familia, atrapando a un esposo mexicano para quedarse en el país. Y bueno, estamos esperando cosas grandes de ella. Sí. Síguenla. Tiene su podcast, Atentamente Poli, y también tiene un special en YouTube, Lo Necesario, que I recommend it highly.
Yeah. No, y otra vez, julio 31, en Miami Improv, a las 7:30, Poli 10 en español. Muchos me han preguntado cuándo podemos ver un show en Miami Improv, cuándo podemos venir y ver algo. No lo puedo recomendar más. Poli Díaz es una comediante que está explotando ahora. Ella vive en México, pero estuvo en Nueva York. Hizo como una residencia allá, hizo performances con varios comediantes grandes. Y ya yo creo que ese show, si no está completamente sold out, 100% el día del show ya va a estar sold out. Entonces, no lo pierdan.
There you go, man. You heard it from the horse's mouth, guys. Actually, Polly, every time she's come through the Improv, has put on an insane show. Yeah. It's always great energy. The vibe is awesome. But moving on to another show that we have happening on Thursday outside of the Miami Improv, but still affiliated, we got Copsito Comedy putting on their monthly Berries production, guys. This one is super dope because our lineup includes a few people that we pulled from the New Faces last time that we thought had really fun sets. So you guys are going to have some guest spots of those people coming on and just putting on their talent that they showed at the New Faces right here at the Barry stage. So we are really looking forward to that. We also have Art God Savvy. We got our boy Marcos, who's going to be hosting. I'm going to be featuring, and Lando Gonzalez is going to be headlining, guys. So it's a really, really dope show. It is a ticketed show, and there is tickets online on Eventbrite. You can check that out there. You can go to Cafecito Comedy's page. You can get the Eventbrite link right there and be able to get some tickets. VIP is going to be $10. You get free access to the seats that are in the front, and you also get a free shot if you get that VIP. And also, the $5 tickets will guarantee you the spot inside because there is limited space, guys. Last time we did the show at Barry's, we had to turn people away because we ran out of space so quickly, but definitely get your tickets right now on Eventbrite for that Barry show this Thursday.
And big shout out Cafecito Comedy, man. Like I had forgotten they did that at New Faces. You guys selected a winner, and you guys obviously brought, bringing them onto the show. So man, big shout out all the winners. And another reason to do New Faces. You know what I mean? Like now I think
Absolutely.
one of the winners, even Dart, is gonna do a video for them, I believe. I gotta pay Dart for that. Actually, now that I remember that. But yeah, man, big shout out Barry's and big shout out. Actually, soon we're trying to actually get we'll say a VIP from Barry's in studio to do a little interview, get a little bit behind the screen there.
Absolutely, 100%, because we have, since we started working with Barry's, it has been such an amazing partnership. They have done everything to make those shows absolutely incredible, and they really give us a comedy club vibe outside of our club at the Miami Improv. So it is so dope, and we really, really love our friends and our partners over at Barry's for that. Moving on to this weekend, though, at the Fort Lauderdale Improv, guys, we have somebody who has spent a lot of time down here, especially at the Miami Improv, specifically on Tuesdays back in the day. We have D-Ray Davis, who's going to be headlining a weekend at the Fort Lauderdale Improv, guys. If you've never seen D-Ray Davis headline, you are in for a treat because you are one of the lucky few who get to experience this for the first time this weekend. And if you have seen him, well, get ready because he's coming with some brand new material. So you guys have that to look forward to this weekend. It's over at the Fort Lauderdale Improv from August 1st to August 3rd. I mean, when he was doing D-Ray Tuesdays, that was one of the most fun shows that we had every single month. It was the first Tuesday of every month. He would come through and pack out an amazing lineup of comics and then pack out the improv with an awesome audience.
No, and I'll say he's one of the comedians that I consistently, by far, get the most questions about, where people are like, when are you guys going to bring D-Ray Tuesdays back, right? And this is not only just comedy audiences in Miami when they come to another show and they ask. It's also comedians in South Florida who are like, that was an amazing opportunity to get a really good at-bat at the Miami Improv in front of some people that actually have, comedy chops and really make yourself look good. I think like Dina Cruz, for example, was someone who was on D-Ray Tuesday, did really well. And from there, really kind of like started skyrocketing, So big shout out D-Ray. This weekend, Fort Lauderdale Improv, man. Can't miss it.
Heck yeah, man. If you want to get tickets for that, don't forget you go to FortLauderdaleImprov.com. You can snatch up your tickets for one of D-Ray's shows this weekend, guys. Moving on to Saturday, though, at the Miami Improv, we have an early matinee 4 p.m. show with, like we were talking about before, one of the curators of the show, Ellie Rodriguez. She is doing I think this is her second matinee show, I believe, that she's having at the Miami Improv, guys. The first one was super, super fun and had an incredible lineup. This one is looking to be just as good. We have Ray Ray, who, if you go to the Fort Lauderdale Improv and you have seen the new faces out there, he actually just opened up for Adam Ray, I believe, as well. He did some time.
Ray did?
I believe so.
Nice,
yeah,
man.
I think.
Shout out Ray Ray, man.
Yeah, he is a grinder, and I am so happy to see him make his debut at the Miami Improv this weekend. So dope. We also have Amanda Vasco, who is a New York comedian who was from Miami and moved up there. She's going to be featuring on that show. And we also have a sponsor for that show as well. That is
Tax Pros.
Tax Pros, exactly. So Tax Pros is going to be sponsoring that show. You want to get out there. And is this...
Yeah, Cafecito Comedy is actually doing the pre-show.
That's what I was going to say. Is Cafecito Comedy involved in it? Got you. Okay, very cool. I'm not sure to what capacity
In
yet.
real time, Sebastian just found out that he's going to be working this show.
Yeah.
Literally, you guys just saw him in real time figure out that he has something to do Saturday at 3 p.m. because if Cafecito has a pre-show, it means Sebastian has a pre-show.
Probably. We'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. It sounds like fun. They're probably going to do like maybe a trivia or something. That'd be dope. So you have that to look forward to if you want to show up a little bit early. Doors will be opening at 3 p.m. for that 4 p.m. show on August 2nd at the Miami Improv, guys. Ellie Rodriguez and friends. You do not want to miss this, guys. Moving on to Saturday night, though, we have a show happening that I am super happy to see. When I first saw the flyer for this, I was really excited for it. Hopefully I can make it out there if we can maybe get off work a little bit early to catch the end of the the show. But on August 2nd, guys, at Just the Funny on Coral Way, 9 p.m., we have the debut of Cy Montia as a headliner. You've seen him on Kill Tony. You've seen him out at the Miami scene. Don't laugh. You've seen somebody in the background laughed at that. You've seen him performing all across South Florida and abroad, but man, this is his first time headlining a show and headlining a legit show at a really, really dope space. So I'm looking forward to it. But
I got to jump in because Cy, he's somebody who, since he booked this, he's been hitting me up, making sure I had the information. Even this morning, he hit me up, made sure I had everything up to date. Michelle Castro actually asked and booked me on the show, so I will be at the show with him. I'll be opening for Cy. So, big shout out, man. He's been doing the work. He's been grinding. He's actually been in studio for a couple of episodes. We just came in to check it out and say what's up. He's done some interviews and stuff with me, some promo stuff outside. So, man, keep grinding. You know what I mean? Obviously, and I want to see. I don't know if Dart Vision will be there. Actually, I got to find out if Dart can be there. But definitely worth it for them to be able to do this. I'm not sure how many minutes he's going to do, but it's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. And again, that lineup is going to have Michelle Castro, who curates that show, who's the producer of the show at Just the Funny, yourself, Art Roachman. We have Shannon Leem, Mac Lawson, John Gregory, and Big Pedro. So a jam-packed lineup of some really, really dope and funny comics that you guys get to enjoy on Saturday at Just the Funny. Ash, have you performed at Just the Funny before on one of those shows, those Saturday shows?
I have. I remember back when Sean Kent was here. Sean Kent, he's a great comic. I believe he lives in North Carolina now. And back then he was curating the shows and booking a lot of the comics. So like a year ago, I remember he put me on like a 9:30 show. I had a great time. It's such a cool space. I love Just the Funny. It gives you that old school comedy vibe. It's a comedy club. It's super intimate. Like I feel like that's our seller. I feel like they're iconic. All these iconic comedy clubs, they're kind of they're in smaller places and stuff like Miami and the smaller comedy scenes. I feel like there are some clubs that kind of do imitate those comedy sellers, those, laugh factories, those stuff. I feel like you can kind of find those little bit of clubs that like give you the same energy and it gives you the same feel. Just the Funny is definitely one of those where like, you're just sitting in the back and you're just like, this is it. Like, I feel like I'm in New York right now. I feel like and you're also getting some of the Miami spice as well. So I feel like it's the best of both worlds. I love that club. Yeah. And good luck to Cy on Break Legs. That's an awesome lineup of comics, and he's gonna murder. We've been out with him for so long. We've seen the work. We've seen him grinding, and I'm really excited. I'm probably gonna be there on Saturday as well, just to watch the show and enjoy all of you.
You know what's crazy about this is that Ash got to perform there a year ago, and this is my first time.
You've never performed at Just the Funny?
I mean, I performed at Just the Funny, but I haven't done the show yet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, it was a different producer.
Also, clearly, you are not sucking the penises that you need to.
Okay,
This is
there. You go.
This is the comedy grind right here.
Sorry.
That's true.
Put a little curry on it. All right.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to say it.
Go ahead.
Moving on, though, to Sunday, we have another matinee show happening at the Miami Improv, guys. And Art, you have some more information about these two guys?
These are two young guys, Luke Abranches and Wyatt Frigato. Their tour is called the Favorite Child Tour. And man, these are two young guys. They are blowing up on social media. I hadn't heard of them until they kind of got on the lineup at the Miami Improv. But a lot of the younger comedy fans that I've met at the Improv have asked about this show specifically. I got to, I went online, did a little research on their stuff, and they're New York comedians. They hit hard, they hit fast, they got really good jokes, and they're putting a ton of content out. So they're obviously writing and doing all the work. I'm excited to see this show. Again, to come down here and do a matinee show, it's got to be a little brave. Obviously they're doing it for a reason. But I'm looking forward to meeting. And I saw actually an interview that Wyatt did. And I think they're going to be kind of our vibe, the kind of our energy level kind of people. So I'm excited to meet them and see what they're going to be able to bring to the Improv at 3 p.m. on a Sunday,
I love it. Sounds like a lot of fun. Looking forward to that show. Again, if you want to get tickets to that show, it is on MiamiImprov.com, guys. You can go there and check it out. Moving on to the night show on Sunday at the Miami Improv, guys. We are really looking forward to this because it is a return of a former guest of the show and friend of the show, Will Mills, who is going to be doing his All Jokes Aside material at the Miami Improv this weekend, guys. 7 p.m. You do not want to miss it. Again, get your tickets right now on miamiimprov.com. It's the only place that you can buy tickets, man. I mean, if you want, go and check out some of the clips that we had from our last interview with Will, and you'll be able to get an idea of what his comedy style is. You can also follow him on social media, where he puts out some incredible content on a daily basis.
And we're going to have some from that last time he was here, then we got to interview him. I have some non-release clips that I'm going to be putting out this week, shouting out the show. So it's going to be a good time. But definitely go back and check the original interview out. It's a good time.
And lastly, we have a look ahead to some of the future shows that you can get tickets for right now on improv.com. And you want to get these because they're going to be sold out by the time the shows roll around. And that is for next weekend, the August 8th through the 10th. We have Chris D'Elia coming through. Tickets are selling out fast, guys. Most VIP is sold out for the shows. So you guys want to go right now and scoop up those seats, because he is going to be bringing some of his best material he's ever done on tour right here to the Miami Improv next weekend, guys. August 8th through the 10th. And then moving on to August 25th through the 26th. That is 2 weekends from now. We have our friend David Lucas coming through the Miami Improv, guys. That is going to be an amazing show where you're going to see David roasting people. You're going to see him doing his thing in his bag, man. You might see an appearance from maybe one of the Comedy Calendar boys on one of those shows, possibly. So you definitely want to get out there and check out get those tickets also right now, because you don't want to miss out. His seats will sell out very quickly. So go to miamiimprov.com right now and get tickets for that August 25th through the 26th David Lucas lineup.
And every time David's in town, we have Dark Vision there capturing the whole thing. So, you can go back, hit me up. I'll send you some video and footage from the last time he's in town if you need any further motivation to buy tickets and come. He killed it at the Fort Lauderdale Improv. He killed it at the Miami Improv. He killed it at West Palm at the Fully Loaded tour last year. Don't miss it. Next time he comes down, you're going to have to catch him at the arena again.
Absolutely, guys. Now, moving on to the guest of the hour, man. Ashvin, a little bit about you. Why don't you let the people know kind of what got you into comedy? Like, what was it that you started doing comedy, and what was it that initially got you into the game?
So I'd always really loved comedy growing up. Growing up, it was very hard. I have a very big Indian family. We're all very loud. We're all very noisy. And Russell Peters, like, anytime he would just turn on, it was the one thing that would get the whole family to sit down and shut up and, like, actually just sit and laugh at something. And I always looked at that as just power. Like, that's the ultimate thing to have. You're just like, wow, you can emit that from people. You could get them to just, like, stop talking about themselves, stop worrying about their problems, and sit down, and we can all, like, laugh at, like, the things that make us human. So just really from a young age, I think that's the thing that drew me towards comedy. I always had this thing, though, that, like, I was always kind of discouraged from doing comedy, because I'm always like, I don't know, I always felt like that was the cockiest thing that you could think. It's just like, I'm so funny, and, like, everybody needs to know how funny I am. And so, like, I always just had that in my head. So that was one thing that deterred me from doing comedy. I just also never thought I was funny enough. But all my friends and family and everybody, they had always said I was very funny. And I was an actor in high school, so I had been on stage before. And I remember one day I was in my freshman year of college, and it was COVID. And I needed a literature class, so I ended up finding this comedy class. And it was like a full college class that, like, counted as a full credit. And you just analyze jokes in comedy and, like, movie and television. I immediately, like, fell in love with this class of just everything. And one of my graded assignments was to write 5 minutes of material and, like, present it to the class like a stand-up comedian. And my teacher's like, basically, if you don't do this assignment, you fail my class. And I was super nervous, but I remember writing down 5 minutes, and I performed it for the class, and everybody laughed, and everybody was like, oh my God, are you a comedian? You should be. So that was really the thing that, like, pushed me over, like, oh my God, like, I could really do this. And then from there, it was like a year later, I moved here to Miami to go to FIU, and I was like, screw it, let's do it. Like, there was nobody stopping me from doing it. I was going to college. I was a kid. I had nothing to lose. So I was like, let's do it.
Dude, that is the most Indian story of how to get into comedy. It's like, I got a really good grade on a class in college.
Right?
Full credits,
That's that. I don't think I've never even heard of another comedian that started that way, or even close to that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
I know, right? The story is super weird. I still remember that class, that professor, everything. Like my homework was to watch Rick and Morty, nothing else. Like just go home and like study Mr. Poopy Butthole and like know his jokes. And so that was the class.
Do you remember the professor's name by any chance?
I do remember the professor's
Shout him out,
name.
dude.
Professor Brockman. I remember of Palm Beach State College, Professor Brockman. You know, if you're watching this, if you're a Comedy Calendar fan.
Well, if I can find him, I'm gonna tag him, and I'm gonna. I mean, you know, dude, like that's somebody.
Yeah, again, I don't even like know where these. Also, this was COVID school. Like I was in college, so I was in college like online. So I was taking this class online. So I wasn't even in front of the class while doing this. Like I was in my room on my computer, like looking through a webcam, and everybody just like had like their microphones on, or like they had like the chat. So I was just seeing like a bunch of like LOLs on the chat. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm murdering.
Well, in the future, it's also like what comedy's gonna be in 30 years. It's gonna be like,
exactly.
We'll all be in our capsules, moved around by drones, and we'll be interacting through webcam.
Another thing, yeah, like it was like I moved to Miami to go to FIU, and like I didn't know anybody here. I didn't have any family. Like I didn't know anything, and I kind of liked it was almost like having like a superhero identity. Like I loved superheroes, so I'm like, oh my God, now this is a thing. Like I could be Ashvin during the day, and then like I could run out and like not tell anybody that I'm doing stand-up, and I kind of live like this alter ego. So I actually did that for my first kind of year in comedy. Like I really didn't tell anybody. It was just like you guys that I met, and I was just like in the comedy community, but I didn't tell my friends. I didn't tell my family. I didn't post anything. I didn't say anything. And like, it was weird. Again, I was like living like this weird like alter ego lifestyle.
So when you first got to Miami, what was the first spot that you went out to? Where was the first set?
So one night, it was literally like it was fate. I was sitting in my apartment. I had gotten home from school, and I was just bored, like sitting in my apartment. It was a Wednesday night, and I thought back to Professor Brockman's class, and I was just like, why not pick up a new skill? And like, I kind of want to try that again just to see how I would do it outside of like a classroom setting. And I went on Google and I Googled open mic near me, and Beat Culture came up, which was like 5 minutes away from my apartment. And it was like 7:30, and they were like, there was an open mic, a comedy open mic happening at 8 p.m. And this bar is 5 minutes away from you. So I was like, it's not much any clearer than that. I got in my car and I went down there, and I met Danny Miami Reyes, who was hosting with It's Yo Miami. I remember that was the promotion that was running it. And I went up, I did 5 minutes, and I absolutely bombed. It was my first bomb. I'd never felt anything like that before, but I loved it. Like for some reason, I knew I felt exactly at home. And I was like, that was the funnest thing that I could have ever done. And the rest was history. I met, I remember meeting Lonnie Cox there. I met Connie Fernandez, Danny Miami, and Josh Silverman, and Zach Newford. And those were the first comedians that I kind of met there. And from there, we all like hit it off and clicked, and the rest was history. I was just like, how do I keep doing this?
Nice. So when you do start doing your stand-up and you're getting into this, you're getting into the scene, what were some of those moments for you that made you kind of go from like, oh, I like this is fun, to like, oh no, I want to take this seriously, I want to like do this for real?
I would say really just like getting immersed in the community and getting immersed in the grind. I never thought that comedy would give me like such a rich community with like all these friends and like knowing all these promoters, knowing all these clubs. You know, I truly never thought. I just thought you just find open mics. I had no idea that I would get involved in any of this. So I really feel like that was the turning point. Meeting all the comedians who I just really gelled with, and seeing that I loved doing this, and I loved not just performing stand-up comedy, but like meeting the promoters and being like, what goes into putting on a comedy show? What goes into getting good at comedy? What goes into like going into like social media, like metrics? Like I was interested in all these avenues, and I knew that I wanted to incorporate my life into this.
I think one of those groups that you kind of obviously gelled with and worked well with is the Spare TV Boys. You've done a lot of work with them.
Absolutely.
And
just tell us a little bit more about Spare TV and how, I think pretty much your house has been 80% of the videos have been shot at your house, if I understand correctly.
Yes. I volunteered my apartment. I remember literally I was sitting outside with Kevin Reyes and Joseph Madero, and Kevin was just telling me all these ideas that he had for these sketches. And he's like, I've just been writing these for a while now, and I think I want to shoot them. And he was giving me the scripts and like a lot of these ideas for these sketches, and I loved them. I was like, these are all amazing. Usually sketch comedy and stuff, it's hit or miss, but I'm like, I love this. This is right up my alley. I love Chappelle's Show. I love SNL. And I just felt like this was like the perfect middle. I also love the Eric Andre Show. Mm-hmm. So I felt like this was the perfect middle on all those shows. And I was like, we need to do this. You need to make this. And I volunteered my apartment. I was like, bring a camera, bring whatever you want, and let's do it. And that was it. Like, he showed up at my apartment and we just started making dumb videos, but I love them. They're so cool. You can check them out right now on YouTube on Spare TV. And yeah, we just want to keep growing and grinding and getting better at doing sketches.
And just for my own personal, a lot of episodes, Joe is not wearing a shirt. Who exactly decided that? Like, how do you guys decide how often Joe takes his shirt off during an episode?
That's a strictly Kevin and Joe conversation. They usually never call me for that stuff. It's usually when they just want my apartment. I get the call, but yeah, that's with the directors of the.
Do you ever leave them in your apartment alone without a shirt on, or have you?
No, I try not to. I try to keep a certain rule set in my apartment. Hey guys, let's keep clothes on. We can do the funny sketches. Let's just keep clothes on.
Yeah, it's because you've never been to a Diddy party.
Yeah.
But so now that you've been doing this for a while, you've been ingratiated into the scene. What have been some of your favorite spots to perform and or performances? Like, if there was like a specific night that you think back to, you're like, man, this night at this place was like bomb. In general?
Okay, so yeah, for Miami, I would definitely say like every room in Miami is so unique. My favorite places that I definitely like is Thank You Miami, just because I feel like that was my first like real like comedy mic where like I got to explore more of the scene. And Thank You Miami, I think, is like such a prominent place where like every comic is hanging out. So that was a really pivotal place for me to grow my network of comedians and to see they have the book show beforehand and then they have the open mic. So I think that was really pivotal for me for watching the people on the main show and learning from them. So I think Thank You Miami, I would say, is like one of my favorite places. A specific performance, I would say, I did the Boca Black Box, Boca about a year and a half ago. And that was my first like actual like booked shows at a comedy club. I did the weekend there. I was opening for Angel Salsar. He was an actor that was in Scarface. So yeah, Mike Cintron put me on there. Very nice, and it was super cool. That was my first time like actually getting to experience a real comedy club. Really working as a professional, and like I did good. I actually got like a lot of film off that. So just learning experience, and the crowd was great. That was my first time, I think, doing like 12 minutes. So it was just a great learning experience all around. That I think, it's kind of a canon event for comics. Like every comic knows that one weekend that they're like, I think this was the turning point.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
I think also, we all share a similarity in the sense that we're all employed by the Miami Improv. And I think you've been working there like 6 months longer than I have.
Something like that. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. We actually came up with a joke together recently in the kitchen, or you came up with it. I stole it from you, but it's been going great. I've been doing it. It's been killing. Thank you. No, but I a lot of people that may not know, because Sebastian and I, we work in the front, so we're very in everyone's face. We're shaking hands. You work in the back. You're a food runner at the Miami Improv. I mean, tell us about the Miami Improv. What do you think about it?
I think it is. I would say like just there's never a boring day. I just think that's my main takeaway of the Improv. It's never a boring day. Like, I've worked regular jobs before, and if you've worked at the Improv before, you can't just go back to like working like a regular office job. It's too normal, and you're like, I need the sense of like the crazy crowds. I need the sense of like, having like jokes that like you shouldn't hear at work being said, and like these comedians just like doing what they want and being creative. I feel like it's so infectious. And like after you start working there, you're just like, I can't get out of like this magic. Like it's truly magical. Every moment that I've been there, there's something where I'm like, I'm living the dream. Like this is, I can't believe I'm not just like working at the Improv, being in the area, like being in
the biz,
just in the biz, and just being in the building as
the reason I ask you that is because I know before you were in college and you were like you're always doing a lot of things, so you split your time, and now you're working less hours at the Miami Improv than you were before. So really, all this was just a way to say we miss you, Ashvin.
Oh, thank you.
We
so
need
much.
you at the Improv, man. You got to be there with us. I can't keep running food, man. My legs are killing me, man. Please, Ash, please, man. I can't keep running food anymore.
Is it my jokes that you need at the Improv, or is it my leg power? That
No, you're literally the food order I count on, dog. Please.
Both. We need both at the Improv, for sure. But having worked at the Improv, what has been your favorite comedian that you've seen come through so far?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think one of my favorite comedians to see come through is probably Nimesh Patel, just because Indian comic, I look up to him a lot, and him, I'm a big SNL fan as well, him being the first Indian SNL writer, and I got to meet him after the shows and stuff. Super cool guy, like he's super chill, super down to earth, and I love to see an Indian person up there murdering and like selling out, and he's a driving force in comedy, so that was surreal altogether. So I think that was like one of my favorite comics to come through. But the list can goes on and on. Like there's so many great comics that come through that, again, every time you're just looking at these lineups and you're just like, this is crazy. Like normal people don't get to have this job.
Are you working next weekend?
Yeah, I should be.
Crystalia, dude.
For Crystalia.
I'm working that weekend. I will be there. They can schedule me off, and I'm still coming.
Yeah, and
I'm going to do volunteer hours. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That is even another privilege that we get. That like even I caught myself the other day, and I had to tell myself, like, you take this for granted. Like I walked in last Thursday and stuff, just like on the roast battle, like the roast mania that was going on, and just got to sit there and hang out with the comics, and I just thought, like, this is crazy. Like, this is the dream, And
I feel that way every time I get to, like, bring a comedian up with security. Because I'm always asking security, like, hey, when you go get the comedian, if I can go with you guys, And they don't let me usually, but sometimes they do. And whenever they do, I feel like, it's like it's like the coolest thing. You know what I mean? Walking in through the back, it's so dope.
I always feel cool. Like it's like when you see the comedian go through and you're like, oh my God. Like if you're a fan of them, you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. They're right there. And then like I even feel cool like when I don't care about the comic and like they walk by and I'm just like, yeah, that's that's Tony Rock or whatever.
It's like I need sauce right now.
Yeah, like we got other things that we should be doing. I can't be even that in my head. I'm like, that's crazy. That's like a crazy privilege that we just get to do, to just be like, yeah, Ari Shafir's in the green room. Anywho, I'm gonna go out and like that's crazy. Other jobs we don't get to do that.
No, 100%. 100%. And I think there's always something to be said about also, like you said, there's never a dull day. It's like the controlled chaos of the Improv when it's sold out and then everybody's running at 100 miles an hour and there's a bunch of drinks coming through. There's a bunch of food coming through. It's like being able to kind of have everybody like in sync doing a dance and getting all of those things out to the customers or just making sure that everything runs smoothly is like, it's insane.
What's that Japanese sweet? It's like mochi, I think it's called, where like they pound it with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels like. It's like
right.
a second from like complete pandemonium, but it's just synchronized.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
So 5 times a weekend. Actually, we did 8 times, right? We did, how many shows did we do last weekend? We had like, I don't know, it was too many shows.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
I wish there was a podcast dedicated to telling people how many shows it was, but I'm just too tired.
If only. You can go back and watch though. Count for us. But no, Ashvin, kind of in conclusion, man, now that you've fully ingratiated yourself into the scene, you've been here for a minute, you're working at the Improv, you're doing your thing. What are some of your goals going into end of 2025, 2026? Like where are your eyes set for yourself and your career, and what do you want to achieve in the near future?
Definitely a near future. I want to obviously just keep grinding on stand-up, getting booked as much as possible, traveling as much as possible, getting out of Miami, getting out of Florida. You know, I found I've done New York a couple times, and I definitely want to go and travel again, go back to New York, try to hit maybe California, try to hit Austin. I feel like those are the little goals that I want to hit for myself. Kind of coming the end of this year. Yeah, traveling a little bit more and getting out and expanding my network of comedians, you know, learning from everybody. And I feel like traveling is a great way to do that. And then, of course, working more with like Spare TV and stuff and growing that channel, just because I realized with Spare TV, the sketches weren't really on my mind. But now that I'm into it and like I know that I can like pitch ideas and stuff and like we're shooting and we're doing this, now I am a little bit more passionate about the sketch comedy and getting better in that area, because I realized like, you know, there's areas that you can grow in. So I feel like that's one of my areas, traveling and then like growing my sketch comedy and then like working more with Spare TV and stuff. I feel like those are my goals for coming towards like the end of this year.
Yeah, man, I love that, and I think your head's in definitely the right place. I think traveling is super important, especially for anybody who hasn't, you know, already performed in a lot of different spaces. Like just going out there, testing out your material, seeing it in front of different crowds, super important. And also, you definitely on the right track, man. Spare TV and what Kev and Joe are doing out there with that production is second to none, I think, in South Florida right now, especially in the comedy scene. So as that grows, I can 100% see you guys taking that to the next level for sure. If you keep it with the attention that you guys have been giving it, you know what I mean? It's going to be fantastic. It's going to grow for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Before we close off, I want to just remind everyone about the competition we're doing in August. But to celebrate, and before we start the competition this Wednesday, BT South Miami is actually going to be throwing me a birthday party from 8 to 10. It's my 40th birthday party. So anybody out there in the Comedy Calendar family, if you want to come show some love, BT South Miami, 8 p.m. I have a bunch of people coming out. It's going to be a good time. I don't drink famously, but I will have some drinks there. So if you come through, I will be taking care of you guys, and I will make sure that people are laughing in the back. I don't know what they're doing. But, you know, it's going to be a good time. And again, BT's, I think, is trying to put themselves on the map, on the comedy map. And throwing me a birthday party is a good way to do it. So I gotta take my hat off to them and say thank you.
Nice. And are you going to be wearing the sunglasses at the club as well?
I'll be wearing something. I won't be wearing nothing.
Interesting. There you go. Well,
Ray laughed at that one. I like that.
You
Okay.
got Ray with that one. All right, guys. That has been this week's edition of the South Florida Comedy Calendar, guys. If you didn't catch everything that we just spoke about, because it was a jam-packed lineup, you can always go to the South Florida Comedy spreadsheet and not only catch what we talked about here, but also a bunch of things that we weren't able to get to because it was so jam-packed. It's in the link in our description, guys. And also, do not forget to follow not only community newspapers, but also Comedy Calendar on all social media platforms. That's TikTok, X, we have Instagram, Facebook, everything, guys. Stay up to date with all of our clips that are going to be coming out from all these shows. That's where you guys get the advantages of being a South Florida Comedy Calendar fan, guys. Ashvin, again, thank you so much for being on the show, man. It is always a pleasure to sit down and talk to you. You're one of my favorite comics down here in South Florida.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a blast.
But before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to shout out?
So on August 5th, I will be at Dom's in Brickell on Tuesday night. Great club run by Lita Faye and South Miami Comedy Club. And yeah, that's where I will be next. So come on out. It's a great club. And thank you guys so much. Again, this was so much fun.
Dude, again, you're an absolute pleasure to have on the show, man. You can come back anytime you want to promote something. And thank you guys again for tuning in to this week's edition of the show. Until next week, everyone, keep laughing.